feel like that given Mickey's champion pool, this could be something that he's thinking about. The Trundle is another option that we've seen come out from Vitality as well.
Even things like the Rakan that end up pointed out earlier are still on the cards. Two strong side laners eliminated in the form of the Kennen and the Jace from G2. And Origen now maybe just looking at their mid lane pick. They're hovering over Zoe, but of course could go anywhere still.
Yeah, they have a lot of options. I think for them now is when they need to decide whether or not they want a top lane pick that can go hard in a side lane, or if they want to look to solidify that full team fight composition. They still do have the option, and they go for it to actually lock in this Zoe. So Zoe does have a decent matchup against the Ryze. She can outrange him pretty heavily, especially once she gets points in her Powell Star and can poke from afar. But G2 don't have to take that option, and personally, I would way rather see Wonder on the Ryze in the top lane after watching that game up against Fnatic.
Yeah, for sure. And things like Syndra are champions that we've seen as a form of answer to the Zoe. Right now, when you kind of look across the damage, they have a lot of flexibility. They could pick another mage in mid. They could look for maybe something like a possible Yasuo. They could consider Zed as well, the kind of assassins that we know Caps likes to play. So I feel like they have a lot of room to experiment right now.
Still a lot of options for them. It was the Braum going across to Mickey, so a tanky support. There's the Hecarim lock-in in the end. It means that Ryze might be flexed to mid.
Yeah, with the Kennen and the Jace ban, it actually was heavy indicated that the Hecarim could have gone in the top lane. They removed a lot of the answers to deal with his often weak early game. And now Origen are answering by going for the Urgot. The first top lane I think we've actually seen in playoffs of the change in Urgot.
Well, hold your thoughts on that, because we still have 25 seconds more to see whether or not they want to flex it. I think it is going to be the Urgot up on the top side of the map. Having the range advantage against Hecarim can help early on, especially because early lane for the Hecarim isn't super strong. You need that first reset fully before you can start to fully come online here in the bottom lane. Origen may be looking for some early kills themselves. Mithy and Patrick instantly cleared a ward that was placed, so it allowed Cold to sneak in towards the lane, and they can maybe look for a play themselves. Notice Perks has cleanse, but they're going in.
And the knock up straight onto Mickey, uses the Guardian, shields himself up, the Ignite not ticking enough. Caps has now teleported in, and Mithy's very low. Doesn't have the flash in from Perks, looking for the final order. The Rend would be enough, they get him. First blood to Caps, and G2 strike.
G2 with the counterplay bottom side. Caps had reset, had TP'd in towards the bottom, and they get the kill. Origen set it up very well, but ultimately could not finish off Mickey.
Really quick reactions there from Mickey as well, showcasing that the moment he was in danger, he was immediately able to throw up that shield and mitigate a lot.
Only for the side of G2, it is Perks without his flash, whereas Patrick still has his own, and that's why we see Origen moving down here with Cold to try and help bounce the wave and deny some minions.
Mickey realizes something might be happening, lands the Winter's Bite, but Nuke Duck is there as well. They're going to jump across the wall with Blast Cone straight onto a control ward. OG looking for the four-man dive down towards the bottom side. Jankos is waiting around the corner, but Perks caught up. The double taunt lands. Nuke Duck takes down Perks. Mickey short to follow, and it's a double for the mid laner.
G2 thought they could counter with Jankos, but with no flash on Perks, they stood absolutely no chance. Origen now with full control over this bottom side, get 2 quick kills and full damage on the turret plate spot.
Very clean play overall from Origen. As you mentioned, and you already set it up in advance, there were summoners burned towards the bot side of the map. Origen would be looking for another play there. And the important thing was that Nuke Duck already started moving before I believe Caps got back to lane. So when we jump into this replay, have a look at the minimap, you can see that Ryze is still underneath his tower. So G2 think that they can buy time, they can play safe, but in the meantime, another fight is just happened.
Caps pulled into the grinder! Alfari gets the kill. He was the one to come down from the top lane. I'm sure we'll have another look at that. But I thought it was G2 that were meant to make all the early game proactive plays. It seems to be Origen who are coming out on top.
Yeah, while their first gank didn't work out in favor of them, they didn't slow down, they immediately retaliated, they looked for a window of opportunity, and they end up making the play happen. So, beautiful stuff from them. And Origen in the enemy jungle as well, which means that they get to track what OG is up to, but more importantly, they get to control the Rift Herald. So this game doesn't snowball out of their control, because if they lose that, then the probability of losing the mid tower increases pretty dramatically, and once they lose that, that's when Zoe really becomes a mid.
Look at this TP.
Caps TPing in behind in the bottom lane. Alfari trying to run away, uses the flash, will knock back the Hecarim. Wonder caught out with the Fear Beyond Death, but Alfari is done for. Origen going to try and react on the top side of the map as they go for the Rift Herald.
They're going to be starting up this Herald, and there's not much G2 can do with Perks, or rather Caps, on the bottom side of the map. So G2 get the kill on the top laner, but ultimately should be gold down in terms of this Rift Herald, which should be able to be used to pick up a couple of turret plates in one of these lanes.
So, and what they've done is they brute force their way in, and now it's G2 who are grouping up. They have control over bot, and it's Origen that are now the one that's running
Patrick's
away.
out of position. Patrick's totally out of position here. The heal comes out, but the face core will be used. Void Rush used as well. The chase comes out. Patrick's still dodging away. The Glacial Fissure misses as well. He's eating up a lot of ultimates here, and Origen will try and react on the other side of the map. The Redemption keeps him alive. Almost takes out Jankos. Almost takes out Wonder. Can't quite get it. The shutdown comes out, but Origen are trying to push in mid lane to react.
I couldn't believe that Patrick used his heal and his flash to run away when inevitably he was going to die, but the damage he put down onto Yanko stopped G2 rather from immediately turning back towards that Baron. Origen also pushed down mid, so they lose their ADC, but not the rest of the map.
Unfortunately for Origen, they couldn't convert it.
They're hitting just one or two members can absolutely crush.
Caps is on the inhib. Caps is on the inhib right now, and Origen realize they have to do something.
Yep,
they're going to go for the fight. Alphari's going down towards the bottom lane to try and deal with Caps. Maybe actually just
He's
teleporting
TPing
into
in.
the fight instead. Baron down to 10,000 HP. G2 can just poke from the side if they want. Wonder has the ultimate to jump into the backline. 6,000 HP. They're going for the engage. Caps teleporting in. The Cataclysm already used. Cold ignited. He is down. The Onslaught of Shadow gets onto the backline as well. And here comes Caps. And here comes the rest of G2. Origen made the desperate call, but Patrick's down. Alphari gets one, but the rest of Origen are just running for the hills. The Realm Warp to chase onto Nuke Duck as well. And G2, they say, OG, you can want a team fight all you want. Alphari gets the double, almost gets the triple. The heroes, they just, no way has Alphari just turned that one around. It was all G2, but Caps now comes in, and Caps will clean it up for G2.
Caps and Perks are the ones alive. They have the damage to take this Baron, and with the Rend to knock this one out, there's nothing Mithy can do. G2 didn't even split the fight. They just said, we'll fight you 5v5, and they crushed.
Incredible stuff there from both teams. It looked like it was G2's fight all the way to Sunday.
He TP in, and he's going to make the decision, right, we'll make the 5v5 happen. So, as we kick off the replay, what you'll notice is the Origen are confined in this tight space, and it's Cold that starts to engage. He's the one that decides, let's just go on to Mickey, and the problem with this is Perks can then drag him out and take him to safety. And this frontline Jarvan cannot soak up all this damage. Immediately then the Hecarim dives onto the backline, and then the two carries from Origen get collapsed upon. And at this point, Origen are just split apart. It's only Alphari that can turn this fight around, but then with G2 trying to split up the fight themselves, trying to clean up, that's when Alphari comes in at the end and at least saves the team fight with what he can.
Yeah, Alphari in the straight up 1v3 in the backline was just nuts to watch. I think that's a Triumph peel coming in at the end as well to keep him topped off.
For the moment in the mid lane. That inhibitor is open in the bottom lane, but while you have Baron, you might as well use those cannon minions to chip away at these towers.
I would like to see Wonder now move down towards the bot side. He does have to teleport himself, and remember that with his E and ultimate, he can very quickly join a fight. But look at Cold.
Cold going in, the Cataclysm used onto Caps. Here's the hero's entrance as well. Cold goes gold, and Caps slept into it, putting it all onto the backline. A momentary freeze frame, because in the end, Nuke Duck will take down Caps. Wonder has the flank position. Jankos down as well. Patrick's alive. Nuke Duck as well. Patrick now goes down. It's all on Nuke Duck trying to get the damage into this fight as Alphari steps behind his tower. G2 lose 2. Nuke Duck gets one more! A consolation kill on the back as Perks now caught up, taunted up. The shutdown comes out, and Origen have fought back.
The fight was close, but the re-engage from Origen was so clean. Nuke Duck finds the snipe, and then it's Cold that takes down Perks. The way this fight started, huge. This Alienware replay, you can see that, Caps tried to get out of there with the Realm Warp stopwatch, but that doesn't work anymore.
Doesn't have his flash. Mickey X doesn't have his health bar anymore. Mickey doesn't have a flash either. He's going to be forced away. Alphari's answering in the bottom lane to the push, has the teleport to join the fight, but maybe Caps in a good position here as he catches out Mithy. It's a very tanky Galio though. Here comes Wonder. TP used, Onslaught of Shadows. They try and get away from it. Patrick shielded up, healed up, and here comes Perks on the front line trying to get through Alphari. Alphari's already taken down one. Mithy gets the Justice Punch onto Caps, who has to flash away, but he's pulled back into the heart of Origen, and they rip out the heart of G2 as Caps falls. Origen going to turn straight towards the Baron.
Origen get the 2 kills, and Caps, the carry of G2, is down. Origen in a beautiful position now to start up the Baron. Jankos is alive, has the flash coming up soon, but it would be a miracle to stop this.
He's actually going for the TP into bot lane. I wonder if G2 will
Give it up.
They give up the mid lane in Hib. There's still a minion wave here as well with it. Origen looking to go a little bit further. How do you prepare for a moment like this? Well, G2 tried to against Fnatic in week 9. Will that pay dividends? Mickey there on the front line. They forced Nuked up back to Glacial Fissure. Doesn't land. And G2, they're conceding slowly, but they did not lose anything more than that mid lane in hit. Perks going in. The engage comes out. That's a lot of damage. Really, Perks is taking out Mickey on the back line. Nuked getting chased away, but Patrick's still alive, and Jankos can't get onto him. 2 GAs popped in the middle of the fight, and it's a cluster of damage as G2 just try and pick one player up at a time. They get to Nuked up. Gets the kill as Patrick secures it in the end. OG get 1 for 2.
And once again, G2 find another big fight, but Origen are resilient. They convert it into another tower, and both these teams walk away, I guess, happy. Both of them.
Just give me 5 games of this. Just give me 5 games
So
of
let's
this.
actually have a look at how they start off. The first thing to note is how Nukeduck uses his ult aggressively. That then allows Shenchitov is a sneak Baron from G2 as well.
True.
Realm Warp into the back of the pit can be something that you do completely by surprise. They have one of the Mountain Drakes as well, and with the Callista, Hecarim Rise, you can just melt through that. You might not even need the jungle, but here's the
TP
TP.
behind. Origen going to force the fight as they go for the engage onto Jankos. Here's the hero's entrance as well. Perks flashes out of the back of it. The chase is on for OG. Nukeduck getting in, but the cleanse from Perks will keep him alive. Cold gets Jankos. Cap still pushing in the sideline. He's realm warping forward. Wonder now on the flank, trying to get together with his mid laner, just forced away. Caps is going for the inhib.
Here's the thing, though. Origen did not pull the trigger to move towards the Baron. They're losing pressure on this bottom lane. Now G2, they're starting it up. They have
They've gone to answer Caps.
They have the Rend. They have the Rend. They got the inhibitor, and all of G2. Oh,
This is an incredible game for G2. Caps is just outplaying as well in the side lane. We should switch this Baron's to G2. Let's see what Caps is doing. The Zhonya's comes out from Nukeduck. He's almost taken out. Caps got in there. Caps is trying to 1v3. In the end, he goes down. Baron goes across to G2.
G2 still get the Baron. Unbelievable.
And this is what is so scary about G2. Conventional League of Legends, they just throw that out the window. They just come up with, like, they should be in a disadvantage in this situation. Remember, they're the ones that have just lost their jungler. They're the ones that...
Caps going towards mid.
They're going to do it.
4,000 HP left on the Elder. Jankos trying to get in. Jankos steals it away, and now G2 are just going to force down mid. All of Origen need to back away to try me out, but Jankos is keeping them around. He's down into the GA. Mickey there as well. They get Jankos, but who has been able to back? Nukeduck's got away. Cold sticking on Mickey. Keeps Patrick in the realm. There's the Nexus Tower's going down. G2, they steal it away. They can do it. G2 take the Nexus in an incredible game 1.